Guys, guess what? So, my cousins just got here. And these two cousins are from my mom's side of the family, but they're white. And I've never met them, but I've only heard of them. So, when they first came in the door, of course, a little nervous because they don't know us. And so I kind of looked at the older one because the older one was a lot taller and then his sister was shorter. I would say the other one was probably about like either 5'9" or he's 5'10". I forgot which one. He looks about 6 foot. I don't know. So his name is Austin and he has the similar middle names as I do. Actually, they're the same. Antonio Luciano. Just different last name. So I looked at him, I was like, so this is Austin. So then he's like, yeah, I'm only 17. I'm still in high school. But when I first looked at this boy, I thought he was in college because of his height and the way he talks. And so he was telling me about, all his adventures and how he likes to go places and how he likes mountain ranges and how he's gone here, he's gone there, he's tried this, he's tried that. And I'm like, you're very young to be trying all these new things. But that's also something that I was doing when I was 17, when I was 18, trying different things and always outside going places, mostly in Maryland. But I was always doing stuff all the time. And so was he. And so then his sister had mentioned something that I wanted to talk to y'all about. But I'm not so sure. But I'm going to do it anyway because I'm curious. And his sister had mentioned, hey, have you ever tried cow tongue? It's actually pretty good. And then the son was like, okay, have you ever tried bison? Have you ever tried deer burgers? Have you ever tried this? Have you ever tried that? I said, hold up. Because y'all know how I talk, right? He talks the exact same. So he just started bouncing all over the place with different types of cultural foods. And I said, yeah, but luckily I was able to understand him because I talk fast when I'm excited, when I'm talking to somebody with the same interests as well. And so, man, I was like, you know what? Maybe one day I'll try some bison. One day I'll try some deer burgers, as you had said, they're pretty good. And then the daughter was mentioning not just cow tongue that she had mentioned, but it was another dish that she was introduced to from another culture. And they're originated from Pennsylvania. And they live up near the mountain ranges. And I was telling him, I said, well, I have, experience with going up and down mountains and, different mountain ranges. And he just was like, and so, I was telling him about it just to kind of educate him on the mountains and what to expect at high altitudes with the wind gusts and stuff like that because he wasn't sure why. And I said, well, you live at the bottom, literally at the bottom of a mountain range, so you're going to get a lot more wind gusts than most people that live away from the mountain ranges, or they live more in the city, or they live on the side of the mountain ranges. Most of the gusts of wind are produced up in the sky, which can actually cascade over the top of the mountains due to the high altitude. So the air pressure that'll come all the way down, and it's a lot stronger if you're up at the bottom of the hill. So I was telling him, when you do stuff, make sure you're careful. If you're, playing tennis, when you hit the ball in the air, just again, because of the air pressure. So once he understood that, he was like, oh, okay. And then he was talking about paddle boating. And I said, well, I've never been paddling or paddle boating. I don't know how to do either one. And he was like, well, it's pretty simple. You just put your feet in and you just ride it like a bike. And it's a boat, but it's called paddle boating. And I said, oh, no. I'm not paddle boating, I'm paddling. So I'm standing up on a board and my buddy's going to teach me how to do it. Right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. And it's not really hard to do. It's just for somebody like myself, I'm used to flat land. I'm used to rocky land like boulders and, stuff like that. I'm not used to standing up on like flat, very thin surfaces on top of the water, like a board. And so I said, well, my balance is pretty good, so this shouldn't be really hard for me because my balance is pretty good. So, I was trying to explain to him, can you explain it to me? And he was telling me about it. And he had mentioned something that he had tried from, it was Cambodia. And he's very cultural, like myself. And mind you, this is my cousin Austin. So I'm just kind of like, this guy is amazing. He was just telling me. So those are some new things I want to try. Bison, deer, some cow tongue. And then I was telling him about calf brains. Like one of my mom's good friends, which is my niece's mother, the one that I had talked to you guys about that lives in over by HCC in that area. So she was telling me one time she was with a friend and she was somewhere. I can't remember the country, but she was either in the country or in the state somewhere. And she had mentioned she had went to a restaurant and she had ordered some calf brains because she was curious as to what it tastes like. And she was telling me that it tastes creamy. Is what she was saying. It's creamy and it's very, very soft, like melts in your mouth type of soft. And it has a distinguishable taste than most foods. So your taste has to be quite have acquired to it, or I should say, you have to have an acquired palate for it. And she was like, "Well, it still was good. It's just very creamy." I said, that sounds interesting. So I was telling my cousin, all the types of fruits, the different types of food I had, but I only had a limited amount of time because they were coming back from church with my cousin Rita. So I had to kind of, just kind of get it all out. And so I told him about my content and everything because he likes to travel and explore. And because I'm not used to children or teens, I decided to use this as an opportunity to teach this young boy, hey, there's other things out there besides Pennsylvania and whatever else you've been exposed to. Let me teach you, or let me show you. So that's what I did. He's 17 years old, so he's still exploring. He's still getting out in the world, kind of like myself. But I have more experience with like traveling and stuff like that. So I figured I'd just help him out a bit. I told him I got social media. We can go ahead and we can converse if you'd like. On different types of things, or if you need help with like traveling the world, I can help you out if you'd like to. As I said, I give suggestions. I never force. Adult, child, doesn't matter. I always let them decide. But with children, it's different. With teenagers, it's different because their decision making is not as developed as a mature male or a mature female, brain wise. Their psyche is not fully adequate. So, but it also depends because some teenagers are more advanced than others due to their upbringing. You see that? So it's like half and half. But he seems like he was exposed pretty well growing up, which is why he has the amount of experience that he has, not just good schooling, but was exposed to like different things. And so he's culturally rounded, which is amazing for a 17-year-old. That's absolutely amazing. Because when they talk to adults or when they talk to people their age, they can actually have more to talk about rather than just school, which is most 17-year-olds. That's all they talk about, their job or school. It's just the main thing, or social media. And so, I took it as a teaching opportunity. And also for myself to get used to talking to people that are under the age of 18, how to talk to them, how to engage in conversations with them. Because I'm still learning that myself. My friends, of course, my two good friends, so I'm not going to mention them, but they teach children. So they're used to it. They know how to talk to them. The terminology, the dialogue, the topics of conversations. I know how to do that, but I don't do it as much as they do. But I know how to. So I figured this could be an opportunity. That's all. And he enjoyed it, and so did I. It was a really, really good pleasure talking to the both of them. One of the younger cousins and then the older one. The female, I forgot her name, but it was his sister. And they're both culturally rounded. So it was amazing to meet them both. And so, they just gave me some new ideas. And I'm like, phew, it's amazing. So, also, stay tuned. I'm going somewhere brand new tomorrow. Can you guess where I'm going? Can you just guess? So tomorrow I'm going to a place with Nature Woman. I'm going to spell it out for you. CUNNING. Second word. HAM. And then the third word, FALLS. What does that spell? And then that'll tell you where I'm going tomorrow. Can't wait. It's actually on my bucket list of mountain ranges and trails to visit, with wildlife and different things to kind of see for myself and also with other people. But Robin, one of my nature buddies, had recommended it. The one that made me that plant-based ice cream that's all plant-based and nothing else? Yeah, that lady. So I finally get to do it tomorrow.